introduction, schools are one of the first places where students' behavior and future educational success are shaped. At school, there are many elements or factors that can influence the teaching and learning process. Many take place. There are four perennial truths that make the teaching and learning process possible to take place in the classroom. If one of those is not available, there will be no teaching and learning process. Though the learning process itself might still take place, they are a teacher, B. Students, C. Material, and D. Context of time and place. All of them are linked to each another. Teachers have important role for the success of teaching and learning process. Teachers are carriers or actors positive or negative behavior towards students. Students tend to copy the behavior and mannerism of the teachers. The teachers and their personality is a reflection on the minds of students. If the teacher is honest, leads and balanced and disciplined life, the children adopt these virtues and as an ideal conduct unconsciously. Therefore, the serious belief the way students act depends on the teacher's attitude. It is very important that teachers encourage students because students will benefit from it. A teacher carries a big responsibility in her classroom. One reason is that all students depend on her or him. Everything the teacher says will have an impact on the students. If something goes wrong, the only responsible is the teacher, even if it was not their fault. Teacher questions. The research attempt to answer the following research question. A. What are the students' perception on the characteristics of an effective English teacher? B. What are the students' perception on the characteristics of an ineffective English teacher? Objective of the research. The objective of the research is to describe the characteristics of an effective and ineffective English language teacher, so that the English teacher can have a broad and wide knowledge to follow to be an effective English language teacher, as well as action to avoid in order not to be an ineffective English language teacher.
Methodology of the research. First, respondents. The respondents of this research were the students of English Education Department that have experience of having been taught by several kind of English teachers. There were 20 respondent groups into two groups to answer two different kind of questions. Second, method, instrument, and procedure. This research employed qualitative method by applying coding of qualitative data. The main instrument of this research was data in the form of essay. The essay were collected from the students. The data analysis was carried out by following the grounded theory, procedure, and technique comprised 3 steps: open coding, axial coding, and selective coding. Definitions of key terms. First, coding. Coding is the process of examining the raw qualitative data, which will in the form of word, phrases, sentence, or paragraph, and assigning codes or labels. Strauss and Corbin, 1990, identified the following type of coding: axial coding and open coding. Open coding. We sweep through the data and mark by circling or highlighting section of the text selected codes or labels. For example, We circle words or phrases describing the behavior of the head of department. Axial coding. Eventually, we have a large number of codes, and you will find it necessary to sort them into some sort of order or into groups, and this is called axial coding. Two common types of axial coding are non-hierarchical or hierarchical. Open coding is generally the initial stage of qualitative data analysis. After completing the open coding, depending on the methodology we use, we can do axial coding and selective coding. At the later stage of the research, this coding helps us to build theories in an inductive process. Open coding can be used with inductive, deductive, or verifications modes of inquiry too. Review of related literature. Anton Lee, 2003, found out that there are 5 key factors that provide a foundation for a good teaching. First, teacher knowledge, enthusiasm and responsibility for learning. Second, classroom activities that encourage learning. Third, assessment activities that encourage learning through experience. Fourth, affective feedback that establishes the learning process in the classroom. Fifth, effective interaction between the teacher and the students, creating an environment that respects, encourages, and stimulates learning through experience.
Findings and discussions. The data of an effective teacher is categorized into the following. 1. Teacher's personality. Pleasing, giving attention to her students, loving her job, being funny, being an understandable person, being calm, being helpful, being close to the students, being honest, being self-confident, not easy to get angry, kind, being disciplined, being a nice person, patient, responsible, having a good attitude, being friendly, being strict, having a warm personality, and being perfect. Teaching performance. Mastery of material, not merely using textbook. Teaching method, not using old method. Demonstrating experiments, showing authentic material, showing picture of the object, changing complicated subject into the fun one. Formulating interesting techniques. No language expect English. Asking the student to find the difficult words. The teaching techniques were interesting. Giving some English songs and giving common expressions to the students before class over. The way treating the students. Knowing how to appreciate the students. Building the students' spirits, giving reward, motivating the students, treating students like friends, never should, not making the students feeling nervous, and supporting the students. Classroom management. 1. Making classroom funny and comfortable. 2. Creating enjoyable and relaxed class. 3. Solving the problem easily and effectively. 4. Playing many kinds of games. 5. Bringing the students to study outside the classroom. 2. Teachers' competence or professionalism. 1. Having in-depth knowledge about the subject or material. 2. Brilliant. 3. Having a wonderful ability. 4. Being smart. 5. Teaching the right answer. And 6. Can speak many languages. 3. Teacher's appearance. 1. Handsome. 2. Cute haircut. 3. Pointed nose. 4. Smiling face. 5. Good looking. 6. having a clean skin, and 7 being
The
neat.
data that given by the previous presenter, the following principles were taken out from the deep analysis in the form of essay for considering the characteristic of effective language teacher as follows. The first one, having a good and pleasant personality that can make and create a good relationship with the student and to have the material easily and comfortably. An effective teacher also celebrates his or her students' success from praising them. The second one is having an appropriate teaching performance that includes teaching method, material mastery, and teacher behavior toward the material in the classroom. Classroom management to cover all the student needs in order to encourage the student having a higher achievement of a subject. A good teacher should be able to consider the needs of students, then decide the right approach to be used or his or her classes. The third one is having a good appearance. Does not always mean the teacher should be beautiful or handsome, but he should show a nice looking to his student. The characteristic of ineffective language teacher as follows. The first one is having an acceptable personality that can lead the teacher to the problem with the students. The second one is incompetence. This includes material mastery and classroom management. If a teacher feels lack of these two elements, it's suggested to have more training because these are the most important thing in the teaching. How a teacher can manage the class if he is poor in classroom management as well as material mastery? Of course, he cannot teach if he does not know what to teach. The third one is having an acceptable or bad appearance. An English teacher should always show a good appearance because if he has a bad appearance, it will attract students' concentration. Conclusion. The student's perception on the characteristic of effective and ineffective English language teachers may vary. When thinking of an effective EFL teacher in general, one may list the number of features of characteristic. This characteristic can be sorted in more specific manner when listing the qualities of effective EFL teacher. As a matter of fact, the characteristic of an effective teacher will determine the success of teaching and learning process. Suggestion. It is suggested for future further research to have a deep investigation on student perception on effective and ineffective English language teacher by having different respondents to have variable data.